Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my September wrap up. I cannot believe September's already over. If you did not watch my previous video, I was in Italy for 2 weeks. So the last 2 weeks of September, I was in a different country. So I tried to get as much reading as I could done beforehand. That way it kind of relieved some of the stress of finishing books while on vacation. But we literally got in last night in like our time as in Italy time. I didn't go to bed until like 4 a.m. I slept maybe an hour that whole day. Like, I was exhausted. This morning, I think I'm still getting used to it. I look disgusting. I showered this morning, which I think made me feel a lot better. But we are going to talk about everything I read in September, and then the video you will see after this is my TBR prompts, picking my October TBR. So let's get into the books I read this month. Okay, so this was the first month I did kind of a TBR picks for the month. Usually I'm a mood reader and I just kind of pick up a book that sounds good at the time. But this month, I actually already had books planned out, which I will say made it a lot easier. I felt like when I finished a book, I was like, okay, I have like 3 to choose from now. Which one sounds best? So I am enjoying it. But the first book I read was A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This book, I heard really good things about it. Hannah, a Clockwork Reader, this is one of her favorite books, so I was like, okay, the cover's stunning. I want to read it, you know? So then I watched Sarah read it, and she did not enjoy it. It was very slow for her. I agree. I was struggling to get through this book. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was because it was so slow. Like, it was just so slow. I wasn't getting anywhere. I was pretty confused. Can I tell you anything about this book? Very little. It was a 3. I feel like I was able to get through it. It was like slow to start, then I like felt like I read the middle really fast, and I was just like crawling by the end of it. This book took me like 2 weeks to read. I normally read 2.5 books a week. I don't know what it was, but this was a 3 out of 5. I felt like I couldn't really give it lower because it was very in between. I can't give it any higher than a 3 because I was just struggling so bad. But A River Enchanted, not it for me, but it's beautiful. It's beautifully written. I just think the story wasn't what I was expecting. The next book I read was a very anticipated book for me, and that was The Only One Left by Riley Sager. When I tell you I could not put this book down, I probably read it in like 2 sittings. It was a 5 out of 5, perhaps more. I felt like it didn't stand up to The House Across the Lake, but I couldn't give it less than a 5. And maybe it was because I came right off of A River Enchanted, but it was so good. And I literally got chills reading it. It was really good. It was very interesting. I was like thinking the whole time, what's happening? You know, what do I think is the end? What's the plot twist? And I enjoyed this so much. Highly recommend. I feel like it put me into that fall mood because it got cold here and there. I live in Michigan, so our flight was 9 hours, but no, so it's getting to the cold season for us. So I really enjoyed this. Highly recommend. Definitely one of my favorite books. Riley Sager's just so good. I love all of the books that he writes, so 5 out of 5. I have to say this next book was very anticipated as well because Sarah loves this book. This is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This book was my like 2 authors choice, a book written by 2 authors. First of all, cover. We all know I love it. But 5 out of 5. This is a good book. I got really lucky because this was, you know, the first book took me forever to read. It was taking me like 2 weeks, right? And so I read the only one left in this book all within 1 week, and started another book by the end of that week. So really, really enjoyed this. I was gonna save this for my trip, but I'm glad I didn't because I did not want to put it down. I flew through it. It was so cute. I love the story. I've never read a book by them before, and I think I need to read more. I really loved it. This was 5 out of 5. Highly recommend this one for like a romancy kind of book. I hadn't read a romance in so long, and this lived up to my expectations. The next book that I had chosen, I don't think I read these in the order that I picked them, but I remember this being one of the last books I picked in my TBR prompts video. This is a book that I really heard so much about, but I didn't want to start it because I am someone that when I start a series, I read the entire series. I don't like stopping because I love the world and I love just building and building and building instead of, you know, reading this, then reading something else. But for the video, I had to because that, you know, I only had this book. So this was the only book that was chosen, and then I had one other one. But I started this on the plane. Like I said, it was a 9-hour flight, so I definitely got through a lot of this, and I was enjoying it. It was very, Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. This is a really well-known book, I feel like, at the moment, but it is such a long series, super long. It's not really, thick. It's not a long book. It's just a long series, if that makes sense. This book was really good. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Only because it didn't keep me sitting in one place reading. I felt like it started off really good. It was a very interesting book. I feel like I haven't read a book like this before with the main character and the situation she is in. So I really enjoyed it. It just wasn't, you know, anything special to me. I feel like it's a good starter. I'm interested to see what happens next, but it was a 3. I guess I'm between a 3 and a 3.5, but this book was really good. I ended up finishing this, I think, the first week that we were gone. So I still had a week left. And so I actually bought this on Kindle because I didn't want to have to take a physical book with me. So I downloaded this book and the next book that I will show you. But I didn't realize that this book on Kindle has the novella after it, so Destroy Me. So that was really nice because I was able to read Shatter Me and then Destroy Me. And I got 2 books out of that. So I don't have the physical copy of Destroy Me because I, didn't know I was going to read it. But it was all within the same book. So I felt like, you know what, I'll read it. The last book I had chosen for this month was really long, and I knew I wasn't going to finish it. So Destroy Me, I also gave a 3 out of 5. I will just pop in a photo of what it looks like. I think I read the entire book of Destroy Me because it's just a novella. I'm pretty sure it was the whole book was in the Kindle. I'll have to double check because if not, I thought I finished the book and maybe I didn't, but I think I did. And that was a 3 out of 5. Again, it was interesting. It told a different perspective because it is a novella. It's not part of the full series, if that makes sense. So it was interesting, different point of view. I enjoyed it, 3 out of 5. The last book that was chosen for my September was Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I started this book. I am not going to finish it. It is September 30th. There's no way I'm going to be able to finish this. I think I'm only through chapter 8. I'm really not far. I started this right after Destroy Me, but I think it was towards the last half of our trip. So didn't get really far. I'm not going to finish it, but I feel like I still hit my goal of 5 books. That was the goal. I had 5 books picked out. I just threw in a different one because this one is a lot bigger. And I was putting it off because I felt like if I could finish the smaller ones, I was able to finish more. But I am looking forward to this book. This will be on my October TBR. I'm not going to stop reading it. This will be the book I continue reading until I finish it. And then we'll just see what books are picked after that. But that is it for my September wrap up. I felt like I did really well for my situation and being gone. And I felt like this month wasn't actually a great reading month, like star-wise. Usually I have a lot more 5 stars or like 4 stars, but I only had 2 5 stars and 3 3 stars. And then we'll see what this one is. I bet I'll like this though, because a lot of people do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Short and simple, but if you enjoyed this video, please let me know down below. Give it a like, subscribe for my next video. We will see what I read in October. And if you want any of the like cruise content, I didn't vlog on my trip, but I can do like everything I bought, all of, you know, like the things that were helpful, the things that I didn't need to pack, everything like that. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!